There's no greater honor than to be part of this annual recognition of outstanding alumni from OCC. The OCC Foundation dedicates our resources to ensure that we provide our students with every opportunity to succeed. Our inductees represent the promise of what the future holds for our students who take advantage of the many opportunities available at Onondaga. We thank them for coming back to Onondaga to share their experiences, the challenges that they've overcome, the impact of their time here, and how they prepare to pursue their life's work.
I prepared a little something here, but I have to preface this with that I firmly believe that short speeches make long friends, and I'll try my best to keep the Make America Great Again to the minimum. I'll try. But if you were to go back in time and ask my high school guidance counselor if I would ever be receiving an award from an institution of higher learning, they would laugh you out of that office. And in fact, they probably would be like, that kid can't even read good. See what I did there? Did good. All kidding aside, I'm truly honored to be back at the place that changed the course of my life. It was my freshman year at West Genesee when I watched the towers fall, and as many of the people in this room, it was a day that changed all of our lives. I waited for my parents to get home, and we all sat down, and I said, I'm going to join the military as soon as I'm able. As a goalie on the lacrosse team, I'm sure they just thought and hoped that I would just go on and play in college, and the only thing I'd get shot at was by other lacrosse players. But I had crazier dreams than that. My senior year, they signed the enlistment papers without hesitation because they really, really, truly wanted me to follow my dreams, or they really, really, truly wanted me out of the house. And I still haven't figured that one out yet. Their support of my dreams they're just as sturdy as they were the day they signed those papers. Without my family, with my in-laws who are here as well, my beautiful wife, my adorable kids, I'm biased on that one, and who couldn't make it this week because last week we were in Disney and they're recovering from that. I wouldn't be here today without that support system. And the work that I do, as well as a good friend and colleague, Jared Lyons is here, he's the president and CEO of Student Veterans of America, and the work that we do. People ask us all the time, what makes a school veteran friendly? There's the metrics out there. We accept more veterans in this school, or we take more GI Bill than this, but I think it starts with the people. And I think Jared would agree with me, it starts with the people. People like Joe Walsh, who's here tonight, who is my public speaking professor here at OCC, who's probably critiquing me right now. He's like, less reading, more eye contact, stand up straight, throw some hair on top of that head, whatever. But Joe went out of his way to be my mentor, not just a professor, to be my mentor. And he asked me something that changed the way I thought about my future. He asked me, what do you want to do in 10 years? And I never thought that far ahead. I was like, well, I want like a beer in 20 minutes, so I don't know what I want to do in 10 years. But he asked me and he said, what do you want to do? And then he showed me that path. And I told him, I said, I want to influence policy. I want to continue serving my country by influencing policy. He immediately opened up his personal network to me. And next thing you know, I had an internship with Congressman Richard Hanna. I had just met Professor Walsh, just met him, and he opened up his personal network. I mean, it's huge for a professor to do that. It changed my life. And fast forward 4 years, skipping a few steps, I'm writing policy papers and doing research work for the 43rd Commander-in-Chief. It's really been a crazy path, but I couldn't have done it without Joe's mentorship and the rest of the faculty and staff at this college who truly care about my future as well as the other students around me. From the day I stepped on this campus, someone was always willing to help me. Most of them didn't even know that I just returned from fighting overseas. Although the beard and tattoos and the frequent and liberal use of four-letter words probably gave it away. But they were genuinely helpful people. And that's how you not only make a veteran-friendly campus, but it's how you make a learning-friendly campus. And I can say that I truly started my lifelong journey of learning here at Onondaga Community College. So thank you, OCC, for this honor. But more importantly, thank you for being the soft landing spot for tens of thousands of transitioning service members, veterans, and their family members in the Central New York region. Thank you.
When I see the 87 there, somebody already in the room said, is that your age or is that the year you graduated? Thank you all, Dr. Cravel, Board of Trustees, Foundation members, administrators, faculty, students. Thank you for such a great honor. When I was contacted about this recognition, I indicated that it was clearly not something I probably deserved. In fact, it's probably Onondaga Community College that should get an award from me. Although I had already put in 2 years of college before coming here in my late 20s, it was in a lot of ways a grounding for me. I'd been working at Loretto and was responsible for a number of its buildings and had had a lot of experience in the operations side of building management. I had a pretty good handle on that, but the fire and life safety issues that faced a complex of 1,000 older adults, average aged 85, that live in one building 23 stories off the ground, including our parents who lived there for a while, as well as a nursing home 13 stories off the ground, suggested a whole different set of challenges. And so while I was still searching for a career path, Onondaga's Fire Protection Technology program gave me exactly what I needed at the time. An opportunity to learn how buildings react during fire, the hydraulics, the physics, the chemistry, and probably most important, the psychology of people and how they respond to fires and emergencies. I was the only non-firefighter in the program. I was the only person that didn't ride the tailboard, and they could not figure out why I was there. But for sure, it provided a great set of building blocks for me for later. So a couple of college degrees later and a lot of stubbing of toes, I was fortunate enough to build a career around helping organizations with sensitive situations and crises, and all based on the foundation here at Onondaga. This place is a community treasure. And the grounding that you provided to me and other members of my family, my son's actually a graduate, he's sitting in the second row, is greatly appreciated. It's an honor to be back here tonight. Thank you.
Everyone who knows me knows how much this college means to me, personally and professionally, and I loved that I stayed connected all through the years. As you just noted, I spoke to classes and hosted interns. I had Dr. Craybill on the show for the first month she was in town to get to know her in a unique way, and it was a lot of fun. I thought it was very cool. Of course, my connection to Jazz Fest and my husband, Frank Malfitano, and of course, he is an alum and a face, and a good-looking face too, if I might add. And if there was an event or an activity that I would promote it on the air to help the college, because I believe in this college. It was so good to me. It was always like this super creative environment, and we had great access to the studios, production rooms. We would stay sometimes till 10, 11 o'clock at night and work on these great projects. We would learn and we would play. I don't think we were supposed to be here that late because maintenance was long gone, but we were having a blast and we were really learning and doing some really great things. And there is one story I love to share. It's my favorite story from here because it's so personal. But Kathy Stampalia-Hawkins was the chair of the department, and she was a really big TV star at the time. And we were just kids, of course, so she was like the Wizard of Oz a little bit. She was all knowing and powerful and very frightening at first, but eventually we got behind the curtain. And Kathy was awesome, she was beautiful, and she was really talented, and she was smart and cool. And eventually I got to know her daughter, Stephanie. And Stephanie was just like her mom. She was so beautiful and talented and smart and cool. And I thought, someday, if I ever have a daughter, I want her to be just like them. And so my daughter, Stephanie, is all grown up now, a year outside of Upstate Medical University. Of course, she's beautiful, talented, smart, and cool. And Stephanie definitely knows where her name came from. I do have to thank Vinny Spadafora, beloved to all, and the great Rob Gagne, the hipster cool radio dude that we all really dug hanging out with, and Kathy and David Hawkins, and the great and dear Shirley Myris, who was one of the many professors who are our biggest cheerleaders, and they became lifelong friends, and Nancy Licata, I know a lot of folks know here. She was the glue of the department for so many years. And you know, in media, you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of recognition. It's the nature of the beast, especially when you've had success. But I gotta tell you, nothing means more to me than this tonight. This is just beautiful. And to be immortalized in flour and sugar for the rest of my life is just amazing. You will all see these later on tonight, I'm sure, at the celebration. Thank you all so much. This means a great deal to me. It's just beautiful.
As an international student, I faced a myriad of unique challenges. The weather, I had financial challenges, and I had just graduated high school in Zimbabwe, and I was in a whole new environment altogether, thousands of miles away from home. But I'm not going to go into all the challenges that I faced. I'm just going to talk and really thank the people who helped me succeed at OCC and beyond. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who helped me. Again, like I said, because of the challenges that I faced coming here, it really did take a village, an OCC village, to help me make it. And I am going to attempt to name everybody who I can remember in that OCC village. And if I do forget your name, please forgive me in advance. I'd like to start by thanking Monty Flynn and his family. When I came to the United States to go to school, I was originally actually supposed to go to Oswego. I was late to go there, so I transferred to OCC. And when I did come to OCC to start classes at OCC, right, classes had already begun. I was coming from Zimbabwe. I don't know everybody. I didn't have anywhere to stay. Monty Flynn and his family opened up their doors, and they had this kid from Zimbabwe staying with them until I figured out a place to stay. They helped me find a place to stay and get me all set, and I can never thank Monty and your family enough for that. I'd like to thank the Mwashi family. They are also a very special family. They are originally from Zambia, but they're Americans. I'd like to thank them so much for all they did for me. Tabetha, Theo, Upe, Mott, Lisa, Mwengwe, Auntie Elizabeth, and Uncle Eric. They also did open up their home for me. As migrants who had made it in the US, they sort of like made my stay here a whole lot easier. I would like to thank also the Pan-African community of Central New York, people like Professor Misheri Mugo at Syracuse University. There was an African community here that also helped me integrate into the society, and I'd like to thank them for that. I would like to thank the Ghanaian Society, as well as people like Professor Rowe, who was a professor here at OCC. I'd like to thank Kani, Saldico, and Jody for all the help that you gave me. I'd like to thank my friend Alfonso Garcia, who became my roommate. I met him here at OCC, and he became my roommate and friend. I want to thank C-STEP, which is a science, it's a science program created for minority students here at OCC. They were very valuable. I'd like to thank Drake Harrison, who's still running the program. I'd like to thank Dr. Mark and Catherine Teese, who mentored me and advised me, and whom I'll always look up to, and whom I'm always thankful for all that they did for me. And finally, I want to thank my wife as well. And again, thank you all for all you did for me. And please continue to do what you did for me for others. I truly believe, this will sound really cheesy, but all of you, what you did for me, if you continue to do for others, this will truly be a much, much better world. Thank you.